This is episode 690 of the two Dum Yinzers. That's right, only 10 more short episodes. We'll be in the 700s, Mike, on episode. It will be in season 7. That's what that means. As soon as we get 700, we'll be at season 7. Only 30% of the way left to reach the 1,000 show mark. I'm going to be honest with you. The time should fly right by, right?
It should. I like the way you do that, Matt, to find out the next major milestone. We're only 75% of the way to episode 10,000. Let's go.
Hey, man. So there you have it, everybody. Welcome back to the show. This is Wednesday, hump day, if you will. And again, episode 690 of the two Dum Yinzers. Welcome back.
All I'm hearing is 69.
Yeah. What's this?
Oh, I said all I'm hearing is 69. Episode 69 times 10.
Yeah, man. But yes, welcome back, everybody. Mike, yes. I got a list here. We talked yesterday about the halftime show, the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I have a list here that I want to talk about shortly. It got to do with the Super Bowl and past Super Bowl halftime shows. We got that to talk about today. Also, we have in the Steeler world a couple interesting stories on the day. Good morning, happy hump day to you as well, Jen. There's a bit of a stir being caused here in the Berg about a billboard, not your average sell the team Bob Nutting billboard. This is has to do with our football team. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today, Mike. Also, Sidney Crosby gets a nice another accolade to add to his otherwise illustrious career. Mike will go over that. A lot of things to talk about today. Welcome back to the show. Again, episode 697. 10 short shows away, Mike, from the big 700. We will be kicking off season 7 as we do that. So stay tuned, everybody. We do got a lot of things planned, and we do have we got a lot of things coming up. So do hang in, everybody.
A lot of things. Oh, yeah.
Again, good morning to Jen on the board. Good morning to you. Let's start off, Mike, with, and I know everyone's chomping at the bit, and they always are, to get to the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I want to talk real quick about, just because it's done and behind us, and I don't want to carry this all through the next season. Let's talk about, I have a list here in front of me of the top 10 Super Bowls halftime shows of all time. Of course, a lot of stink was being made about the halftime show this past weekend by Kendrick Lamar. So I'm going to go down. This is the rank. This is ranking the best Super Bowl halftime shows via The Athletic.
Yeah.
So all right. Again, the show this past week, the halftime show, a lot being made about the Kendrick Lamar show. I did go in and watch it yesterday morning before the show. My take was, I guess if you're into the music, you probably thought it was okay. Yeah. You probably thought it was good. If not, it probably was like listening to country music if you don't listen to country music. So you have to put that into consideration. I thought that I didn't love it and I didn't hate it. I seen what people were saying. I seen what people were talking about where it was hard to understand at times. But so I went and I dug up a list here, guys, of the top 10, according to The Athletic, the top 10 halftime shows in Super Bowl history. So we'll take a look back here and compare to what we've seen this past weekend. Again, I think that it has to be more neutral, mainstream kind of halftime shows because, again, you're trying to appease everybody. That's never easy. But again, Mike, as I suggested yesterday, I think Shakira should always be at the top of the list, no matter who you are. At least everybody wins. Even women, they're like, oh, look, she's beautiful. Look at, So It isn't like there's anybody that's going, Shakira's got my vote. I do want to say what's up to DL Dub. What's up, guys? I'm in the office today. Just wanted to say what's up. Always great seeing you, my man. So the list that we're going to talk about, this is the top 10 halftime shows in Super Bowl history. by The Athletic. So again, you guys 10 different sources. You
Yeah.
probably get different lists, but this is what we're going to go with here today, guys. Let's start with number 10. Number 10 on the ranking the best Super Bowl halftime shows, according to The Athletic, was Katy Perry. Now, I don't know if Mike, if this was one show, because they're all not like this. You got to understand.
Yeah.
All right, so number 10 is listed as this. This could have all been one show. I don't recall. Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott,
Yeah.
and Left Shark. Now,
Left Shark. Yeah, that's that one.
So I assume that's all one.
Yeah, that was all one. Like, yeah, she was the main performer, and they came on and they did.
Katie was.
Yeah, Katie was the main performer, and they were the other guys, other people that came in to perform it. They were like the shark costumes that were dancing, and the shark on the left side was so behind everyone else. It became a viral meme at the time. Like everyone who paid attention to it, like, oh, Left Shark was out doing its own thing, and that just became a.
How long ago was that? That's the thing. I don't even recall this.
That one is because I have a different list here, and that one is on it. Give me 1 second.
Is yours have dates?
Yeah, 2015.
Oh wow,
yeah.
That recent, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So right around Super Bowl 50, give or take. All right, interesting. So number 10 on this list of ranking top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows. Again, a lot to be made of the Super Bowl show from the past weekend with Kendrick Lamar. So we are taking a look at where people have their top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows. Number 10, of course, Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott, and Left Shark. Number 9, Rihanna. Rihanna's another one I think that you can't lose. If you put Rihanna up there,
yeah,
whether you're a white guy my age, a black guy in his teens, whatever, everybody likes a little bit of Rihanna, right?
Yeah. I liked her performance. It was last year, right? Yeah, 2023. Well, some people were complaining because she wasn't dancing, so they will still find a way to complain, even though she was pregnant and they wanted her to dance. But yeah, I thought it was a very good performance.
She falls into that category for me, like Shakira does. She's just a hot girl. I think she'll go by any group of people. I think most people be like, even if you don't like her music, they're going to be, the kind of person's going to be like, well, at least there's something to look at. And again, women, they generally aren't, I don't want to say they're generally not, they don't attack other women the way that we do, but they do. They attack women worse than we do other women. But I think everybody can enjoy Rihanna, Mike.
Yeah, I like her music. It's not she's not one of my favorite artists, but I've heard so much of her music, I can just listen to it in the background and it's no biggie.
Good morning to Yinzer Joe on the board. Happy hump day to you, my friend.
Hump day.
Hope you have a great hump day. I hope all hump days are great.
They better be.
So number 9, this list of top 10 best Super Bowl halftime shows. Number 9, Rihanna. Number 8, here we go. Another one that has like a group of names. So I'm just assuming this is all together. Number 8, Madonna, LMFAO, Nicki Minaj, MIA, and CeeLo Green. Madonna, LMFAO, Nicki Minaj, MIA, and CeeLo Green was number 8 on the list. Any comments or thoughts about that group of performers, Mike?
I don't remember that one at all. That was in 2012. I have no idea. I don't remember that at all.
Ravens, 49ers. That was the night that the lights went out.
Yeah, the lights went out. Yeah, that's the only thing I remember from that Super Bowl. The lights going out, and all of a sudden the Ravens were a different team after halftime. Maybe you're listening to Madonna and CeeLo Green pumped up the Ravens. That's what they needed.
All right. That's number 8, Madonna, LMFAO, Nicki Minaj, MIA, CeeLo Green. Mike, let's move to number 7. This one, it should be a lot higher in my opinion, but let's get everyone's thoughts here. Number 7 on the list of top 10 best Super Bowl halftime shows is none other than a group of Shakira, Bad Bunny, and Jennifer Lopez. Shakira, Bad Bunny, and Jennifer Lopez.
That wasn't too long ago, was it?
I don't think so. What was that?
I gotta scroll and search on this one.
So
that was 2020. 2020. It was only 5 years ago.
I was going to say 19. I was going to say 2019.
Yeah, I was going to say
So Shakira, still after all these years, you got to think back when she first came out, and had to be
Yeah.
right around 2000. So I mean, here we are, a quarter century later, still looking great. Again, she would be higher on my list, but again, number 7 on the top 10 halftime shows in Super Bowl history:
Mhm.
Shakira, Bad Bunny, J-Lo. Number 6, Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. See, I think a lot of people in general would like this, but again, it kind of goes with the Chili Peppers really far one way, and not really far, because there's a little bit of soul in the Chili Peppers
Their
music,
soul, their funk. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but this Bruno, I'm not a Bruno Mars guy. I'm like, could you tell me anything about Bruno Mars? I mean, I know who he is.
I know
What's his
who he is.
What's his music like? What's he?
I have no idea. I remember the show. Anything I've heard of Bruno Mars, I like. It's I don't know. It's I don't know. He's there for me. He's nothing special. Same thing like the Chili Peppers. I'm not a big Chili Pepper fan either, but I like their show.
See,
It was all
you
right.
mentioned Pearl Jam yesterday. I think that would be, as I'm talking about finding a mid mainstream medium. See, I think Pearl Jam kind of falls right outside of that. I don't
Yeah,
think that the
but I
young
was just
people.
saying because people are like, you have
I
a
don't think
hard
that the
time.
younger people are gonna
Yeah,
buy it, and as you said,
no,
people are
they're
gonna have
so
a hard
old.
time understanding it. And go,
Yeah,
well,
German
but
okay, yeah, it's like
but I do
I
like
can
the
barely
Chili
understand
Peppers.
grunge. Yeah,
I would be okay with that.
yeah.
So that's number 6 on the list: Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Number 5. I don't think you could go wrong with this, but you're never gonna ever have this again, at least in a live person. Mike, number 5 on this list is Michael Jackson, of course. One you could have an all-time great to any genre of music. I don't care who it is. I think Michael Jackson should also be higher. Number 4 on this list of top 10 best Super Bowl halftime shows: Beyonce and Destiny's Child. Beyonce and Destiny's Child. Um, you know, right now we're in a time where people either love or they really hate her. I think she would do well. I think if there was a halftime show tomorrow, I think Beyonce would do
Like,
really well, because her man and his friends and people in her business are controversial right now. A lot going on. I think that it would get a lot of attention. Being Beyonce and or Destiny's Child.
And she did win what country music album of the year at the Grammys.
That's true.
That's true. And like, she has a damn good voice. Damn good voice. She can put on a good show. And isn't that what you want on a halftime?
I'm cool with Beyonce. I think she'd probably put on a great show. I'm not really into her music much anymore, but I don't see any.
She got a
harm
set of
having
pipes
her.
on her, man. She can belt it out. So
It just seems like they're okay. Let me continue.
Yeah.
Number three on the all-time top 10 best Super Bowl halftime shows. Number 3, not one of my favorites at all. And I got to be honest with you, I wouldn't have this team or this group in my top 100. Even though there's been 59 Super Bowls, they would not be in my top 100. Number 3, according to this list by The Athletic, is U2.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, I fucking hate.
Is it just me, or does every one of their songs sounds like it's one continuous song?
Yeah,
they all sound the same.
Yes.
They all not a U2 fan at all. Matter of fact, when I hear U2 come on, I turn it. I really, honestly, truly turn the channel when U2 comes on.
Like
nothing against anybody that likes it, but me personally, I just never got it.
I do not like U2 at all. I hate what's his name, the singer. Bono. No,
You always wear your Bono shirt, though.
I do, but I hate Bono. I hate him. I just don't like U2 at all. Never have, never will.
Let me get on the board just real quick before we hit these last two. DL Dub says she is pretty, but she looks a lot like Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. Tell me I'm wrong. I've never seen Charlotte from Charlotte's Web, but I assume that she's probably pretty good looking. But again,
I like it.
She's as neutral to me as anybody could be. She really is. She's neither black nor white. She's not rap nor metal. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. She's everything in between. Again, I don't think anybody loses. If Shakira would do the halftime show, I'm gonna have to look into this Charlotte from Charlotte's Web. I'm gonna have to check it out. I will have to check it out and let you know. Yinzer Joe said Bruno Mars is kind of pop. Listen to Uptown Funk. Okay.
Yeah, there we go. Yep. Thank you. I could not spit out the words to describe him, and that's what was on the tip of my tongue. Thank you.
Interesting. Number 2 Number 2 on this top 10 list, Mike, as soon as we get number 2, we'll do a rundown of what the first 9 looked like, and then we will reveal the top best NFL halftime show ever out of 59 different shows. Guys, number 2, my personal favorite. This is my personal favorite.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask anybody that I went to school with, I guarantee they're going to tell you it's their personal favorite too, or at least the age group.
Yeah.
Number 2 on the all-time top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows, guys. Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and Eminem.
Yep.
To see Snoop, Dre, and Eminem out there doing songs that I grew up with, automatically is a winner in my book. But again, just my opinion. But I did get a lot of good. You heard a lot of good things, Mike, after that Super Bowl halftime show. People talked about it for quite some time. What do you think?
I liked it, man. It was one of my favorite too. And when it's like how everyone had their own little section on the stage, all the different type of music, all the different like eras of rap from the West Coast. It felt like it was nice. I liked it. Like you said, that's the music that we grew up with, or if we didn't grow up listening to it, it was still in the background of our lives at that time. And struck a chord with younger Gen X and millennials.
So number 2 on the list of 10 by The Athletic, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg. See, I mean, some of these guys, not so much. I mean, Dre was my dude. 50 Cent came along a little bit later.
Yeah.
Snoop was my dude. Kendrick Lamar, of course, is newer. Mary J. Blige, we grew up with her.
Yep.
And then Eminem, even him, he didn't come till the late 90s.
He come until late,
So it was really Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg for me. Yeah. Add all the other ones was just like is like putting
the cherry
icing on the cake. Exactly.
Yep.
I will. I'm going to check that out, DL Dub. We'll get more into that in 1 second. Let me finish this list up. So that the first 9, 2 through 10, guys, we're talking about the top 10 Super Bowl halftime shows. Number 10 was Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott, and Left Shark. Number 10. Number 9, Rihanna. Number 8, Madonna, LMFAO, Nicki Minaj, MIA, and CeeLo Green. Number 7, Shakira, Bad Bunny, and Jennifer Lopez. Number 6, Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Number 5, Michael Jackson. Number 6, Beyonce and or Destiny's Child. It's just the way it's written. I don't know what way. What I'm going to assume. I think they did both. Like she did some of her own stuff and then also did something with the girls from Destiny's Child, if I'm not mistaken. Number 3, U2, Mike Bono, your dude.
Yeah.
What's the other guy you're always going on? Edge. You always go on about Bono and Edge.
Bono and Edge, man. Yeah. You know me and Bono.
And number 2,
we hang out on the weekend.
Number 2, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and Eminem. And guys, all time number 1 halftime show in Super Bowl history. Mike, do you want to take any stabs at who you think this might be?
Prince.
Prince? Interesting. Let me check out DL Dub real quick. Charlotte is a spider. Rihanna is black. Try saying she isn't her. Sheesh. Come on, guys. Charlotte's Web is the cartoon movie about the pig and the spider.
Oh my
God! Put whatever side by side. You'll never see it.
I got the picture. I got the pictures, and
you have them in front of you.
I have them. I'll have to work on getting them side by side. Give me a few minutes.
All right, yeah, work on that while we continue to finish this list. But I honestly don't know. I know the story. I remember Charlotte's Web.
You're killing me. This is funny.
There was a pig. There was a spider. There was a spider and a pig. I do know that. Mike is working on getting the pictures up, and I got to check this out. I got to see the similarity here. Number 1, Mike predicted it would be Prince on this list of top 10 halftime shows in Super Bowl history, guys. We just gave you the 2 through 10. Number 1. Prince.
Yeah.
Prince. It's right, Mike. You guessed it.
Yeah.
You know what? After saying the other 9 and Prince not being in there, I think that pretty much opened the doors, and I think a lot of people may have said that because that is talked about as being one of the better halftime shows.
Yeah.
But there you go, guys. The top 10 list right here. You know what? I just seen something right off the top of the screen that caught my attention. Yinzer Joe mentioned Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction. That was one of my favorite.
Yeah.
If you see a titty, you know what I mean? If you're watching a halftime
Jesus,
show,
that's all Ryan cares about.
that
I see that
automatically
titty.
that automatically becomes number one to me because I'm entertained more by that one titty than a whole Kendrick Lamar show. I'm going to be honest with you. Let me see. So number one, it was Prince. Number two was Dr. Dre. That halftime show, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, so on, so forth. Number three was U2. Number four, Beyonce. Number five, Michael Jackson. Six, Bruno Mars and the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Seven, Shakira, Bad Bunny, and Jennifer Lopez. Number eight, Madonna, LMFAO. Nicki Minaj, MIA, and CeeLo Green. Number nine, Rihanna. And number 10, Katy Perry, Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott, and Left Shark. So there you go, guys. The top 10 list. I don't know how I don't know how Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction missed the train on this one. I think it certainly belongs.
Yeah.
How's your picture coming, Mike?
I got it. I got it ready. DL.
Okay, so tell me what we're looking. Hold on, don't put it up. Tell me what we're looking at, Mike.
Okay.
Is this okay?
Okay, I got picture of Rihanna in the middle, and I got two images of Charlotte, the spider from Charlotte's Web.
So this was what the argument. This is what
DL is saying. Is like you can't unsee
Rihanna looks like the spider. Okay, yeah. Here we go, guys. Mike has it all set up. Let's take a look.
Like I didn't want to say he was right because I find Rihanna very, very attractive.
Do you find spiders attractive, Mike?
Apparently, I do now.
Yeah, no, I did see it.
DL,
Wait, hold on, make it big again. I can't see the one on the right.
I did not need to have a Charlotte's Web fetish in my life, and now apparently I do. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no, I definitely see that. I really do.
It's the eyes. It's the eyes
and the
mouth. The eyes in the mouth, and you can see like the sassy attitude from them, from Rihanna, from Charlotte. Yeah.
All right. I dig.
Okay.
I like it.
Okay. Now I got a Charlotte Web fetish. Thanks, DL.
There you go. Let me try to get a couple of these, Mike. DL Dub says, I'm right, aren't I? He laughing because I'm right. Joe says, I think I enjoyed Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction with Justin Timberlake. My all-time would be Michael Jackson. I would probably agree with that, just because his all-time performance and professionalism, he's the ultimate talent. Absolutely. DL Dub says, Yinzer Joe, agree with you on that. That Janet Jackson one was certainly memorable. No two ways about it. And also DL Dub says she's extremely attractive, but she does look like Charlotte. No, absolutely. I see it. There it is.
It might stay up there the whole show.
I like it.
I think it's going to stay right there the rest of the show.
He also says she's extremely attractive, but she looks like Charlotte. Then he goes on to say, I'm sorry, I saw her for the first time. I saw her. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. That definitely looks like her, right, guys? Mike?
Yeah. It does. It does. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this now. I got to end the show. I got to go think long and hard about this. Apparently I'm attracted to cartoon spiders.
That's funny.
That is great. That has made my entire fucking day.
Do you remember? Did you ever see the movie This Is the End?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Who was it? I can't remember who it was. Slapped Rihanna on
Michael
the ass.
Cera.
Was it Michael Cera?
Yeah.
He was doing coke and he was all coked out of his head.
Fucking
all
slapped him right across his face.
Mark Malone, brother, man, what's up? Good morning to you, sir. He says, Mike, if you don't grow a scarlet and sport a handlebar mustache, you're pissing away every golden opportunity. If I ever start going bald, I'm growing a scarlet immediately.
See,
I support that.
I can't. It gets too itchy in the back. I gotta cut it. I feel like a hippie. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't have the discipline, Mark. If I had the discipline, I would, but I don't.
Yeah. And you got it easy now. Walking into the barber shop saying, just give me the curly Howard. And then you're
I'm good.
On your way out the door, you're good.
Like I did this yesterday, like after the show, I shaved it all off and I get into work like, oh, shave your head. Like, yeah. And they're like pointing out the little hair follicles that survive. They're just sticking up like lone survivors.
Why are they so close to you?
Because I walk by them.
Man.
And a bunch of dudes, they got to make fun of me.
Let's get into this football story, guys. I find this one interesting. Let me just make this announcement real quick. The Steelers announced the hiring of Jared Alexander. Jared Alexander is a DB coach. So that happened. Also, all right, let's get into this, Mike. So everybody knows about the Bob Nutting Pittsburgh Pirates signs. Bob Nutting, sell the team. Bob Nutting. These billboards are popping up all over Pittsburgh. But yesterday, a billboard popped up in Pittsburgh, and it says this: "The standard is the standard. Trade Tomlin or sell the team, Rooney. We've had enough. Paid for," and then by the gentleman's name. Mike.
Yeah.
To me, this seems like a publicity stunt. This seems like something that this person said, you know what? Everybody's going to see this and pay attention to me. Because the Pirates and the Steelers aren't even close to the same level. And when we say to Bob Nutting, sell the team, we mean to Bob Nutting, sell the team. This is to get attention, in my opinion. That's why I'm not even going to say the gentleman's name. But his billboard has popped up, and it says, again, let me read it one more time. Standard is mediocrity. The standard is mediocrity. Trade Tomlin or sell the team, Rooney. We've had enough. My beef with this, Mike, and again, breathing even more life into it, I don't even know if that's going to be worth it.
Yeah.
But here's a couple of my thoughts on that. We're nowhere close to that point to where people in Pittsburgh are saying sell the team. I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah.
So for one, that's just try to grab you. Number two, this dude's really representing the Steeler Nation. The person that made this. I mean, is that how everyone thinks? You know, a lot of people have mixed feelings about the head coach, Mike Tomlin. But I don't know if it's to the point to where we're saying trade Tomlin or sell the team. You know, that certainly isn't anybody's opinion that I know here in the Berg. And number three, there's more controversy about this guy that was brought to my attention, which is all the more reason I'm not going to mention his name. If you go look it up, fine, whatever. I'm just not going to breathe life into this guy. But there is more about him that meets the eye. Possibly some racism, according to some of his posts from the past, from what I saw. So again, do what you want with that. I'm not breathing the life into the guy. He's doing all right now. Again, he put up a billboard everybody's talking about. Do feel free to go check it out if you'd like. But I'm just not going to say his name on our show. But the standard is mediocrity. Trade Tomlin or sell the team, Rooney. We've had enough. Mike, what's your take on this billboard that's causing a bit of a stir here in Pittsburgh over the past couple of days?
Yeah, like you said, the Steelers aren't at that level of you gotta make a major change, or you should sell the team. Yeah, do I want the Steelers to win Super Bowls? Yes. Do I want them to be competitive year in, year out? Yes. Do I want playoff wins? Yes. But enough to raise money, enough to, toot my own horn and say I got this. Probably put it up in somewhere where the owner won't even see it. No.
Where is this billboard, Mike? Do you know?
Fuck if I know.
Okay.
I do not know. Probably in a neighborhood that Art does not even drive through.
But another thing, though, social media certainly plays a big role, because before, most people wouldn't have seen the billboard. Now, most people are talking about this billboard.
Yeah, and how much is Art on Twitter checking out what people are saying? Art's only gonna care if it affects ticket sales, if it affects merchandising sales, if it affects the eyeballs on his product. That's the only thing he's going to care about. He's not going to care about the rumblings from the fans until it starts to affect his bottom line. And if you really want to, if this is how you really feel, like you don't want anything to do with the Steelers until they make a head coaching change, that's fine by you. Boycott the team. Don't watch them. Don't buy them. Don't do anything. But as long as you're watching, consuming that product, buying anything Steeler related, you're going to support what he is doing. That's why I haven't watched the Pirates in an actual game in probably like 10 years because I don't like what they're doing. So I'm not supporting them in any way. This guy still goes to Steeler games, charges people to go to a tailgate so they can drink, stale beer and stale sausages. Yeah, This guy's a money grubbing hound. Like you
I
said,
love stale
race.
sausages.
Me too. But no, it's like there's. Am I frustrated with the past 8 years of the Steelers? Yes, but sell the team.
I'm really
if you're not going to
frustrated,
get rid of
actually.
the coach, no. Do I think we need a coaching change? Yeah, we do. It's time for a change. Well, let's move on. But it's not going to happen. He's especially now, or it's not going to happen by like what, a 0.1% of the franchise is fan base going, you got to do this. Get out of here. Now,
I think that maybe the guy just assumed, Mike, that he was going to probably have more of a following, opposed to most people are looking at this kind of laughing, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they want things to be, they want the ship to be right. They want things to be in the right direction. But again, telling Rooney to sell the team.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. Like maybe, hey, Art, hand over football operations to a football guy.
Right.
That would have been a really good message. Art, let a football guy run the team, then put your name on there. I'll leave it at that. Let's put, Dan Rooney was a football guy. He was also, just happened to be the owner of the team too, but he was a football guy. He understood football in and out, where, Art, the chief, and, Art the second aren't really football guys. That's what we need. We need a football guy to, steer the ship, and Art's not that guy.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm keeping an eye on this, Mike. I'm kind of seeing how it plays out. I'm trying to see what people are saying about it, and again, it doesn't really seem like it's going to be. It's if it was done better and more well thought out, maybe it could have been taken serious. But as of right now, again, I think once you get to that point where it says sell the team, Rooney, I think that's when you're going to lose a lot of people. And again, the people's opinions, I think, could very well be valid about Mike Tomlin. So it'll be interesting to see, Mike, what goes on. I don't think you're going to see much of a change. I certainly don't think you're going to get any kind of a following from what's going on with this billboard. No. But again, this is all over my social media, of course, right here in Pittsburgh. I'm seeing a lot about this sign. Again, the billboard states the standard is mediocrity. Trade Tomlin or sell the team, Rooney. We've had enough. I don't know, again, if what Rooney's doing is what we've had enough of. But let's get to a couple of these messages, Mike, because there's some response and a little bit about what people have to say about this.
Yeah.
Let's start with Over. Hey, what's up, Over Enthusiastic Mod Caleb? Always great to see you, my friend. He says we are riding to the local billboard salesman. I got $6K to burn and dislike it for Art the Deuce. Mark Malone. There were other efforts to get billboards. I wouldn't be surprised to see more in the near future. Yeah, that seems to be the thing right now. Everyone's trying to grab a billboard here in Pittsburgh. It's like they haven't existed for the past 600 years. It's like a brand new thing going on.
Hey, it's Pittsburgh. We are slow to the times, okay? We just got done using carrier pigeons.
Keller Haas, what's up, my man? Good afternoon. Brother. Great seeing you as always. He says, yeah, Pirates are in a different league of bad. They are. That team, the Pirate team, is represented by the tribe in the Major League movies. No two ways about it. They fall in that category. No two ways about it. Yinzer Joe, question, guys. Do the Steelers get compensatory picks for coaches lost being a minority coach? I heard this somewhere because the league is trying to make more minority coaching changes. This is more up your alley. I don't know.
That's if a team hires them immediately, I think, for like assistant coach to head coach positions, lateral moves like this. We let the guy go. We just didn't renew his contract, so there's nothing there. It's more or less for like head coaches and like offensive and defensive coordinators. The last I checked.
Okay, there you go. Hope that helped a little bit. Mark Malone, he says hopefully someone offers Tomlin a GM position somewhere else. You know what? If he does, good for him, and if he takes it, awesome. But at some point, again, in my next thing we're going to talk about, Mike, we're going to talk about the stale message that Tomlin may be. He just might be stale at this point.
Yeah.
Again, we'll get into that here next segment. Over Enthusiastic Mod Caleb says, I haven't bought a Steeler ticket since the Gerald Ford administration.
That's dedication right there.
Mark Malone also says a lot of people are getting sick of the Rooney Tomlin love. I mean, you know what? I get that too, Mike. Something has to be done. And again, selling the Steelers, of course, isn't the answer. But the more likely thing, obviously, would be Tomlin not being our coach. but I think that I think he has a couple bad seasons in his pocket before the Steelers would ever consider doing it. I think the ball's in his court right now. As long as we're finishing above 500, as long as we're getting into the playoffs, you know what? To some people, that's the job getting done. You know, of course, everybody's goal is to win a Super Bowl. When there's 31 other teams, you go over 500 and you make the playoffs. I guess that's as much of a win as anything else. If you're one of those 31 other teams, not cool with me. I want a championship every year, but I guess that's not realistic.
No. You apparently you can go 2 years in a row max. That's it. We found that out Sunday. Can't keep winning them all.
Yeah, that's right. And that leaves the Steelers still with one of the best periods of time with the 4 out of 6 years.
Yep.
You know, that was giving them 3 in a row is going to put them in a league of their own. Now we are still in a league of our own with them behind us. Mark Malone says, "I wish they would have sold to that Drunken Miller dude." What a name! I know, Drunken Miller. Mike, that's right up your alley too.
Oh God,
Drunken Miller.
Oh God.
But there you have it, guys. The standard is the mediocrity. Trade Tomlin or sell the team. Rooney, we've had enough. Paid for by blah, blah, blah. This billboard you may find or you may see again on your social media. That's what's going on with that. Now, Mike, this story, I'm going to give a shout out to give credit to the person involved, Mike, or the person who wrote the article, because I do want to say that I got this from them. And this story here is written by Ray Fittipaldo. Ray Fittipaldo, of course, friend of mine. Actually, I worked with him through my job. Mike, this was a part of a story that he did. Ray Fittipaldo said this about Mike Tomlin and just that you know, the what's going on with Tomlin over these past couple of years and the way that fans are and the way that Ray Fittipaldo says, I think a big part of it is that many of their players don't believe or fully buy into their offensive and defensive systems. Fittipaldo wrote, until that changes, you're not going to see anyone on that team playing with swagger. And then later in the article, there's a quote from him that says, Cam Hayward was quoted at the Super Bowl that the defense lacked cohesion. Everyone in the organization needs to be on the same page. It doesn't feel that way with the Steelers at all right now. Mike, I think that all just kind of, it all is at this point, it's piling on. Yeah. Because I think that, you know, everyone knows this. Everyone, you come out at the beginning of the year and they're jumping and remember before the playoff game, they had energy and you made a point to talk about the energy they had.
Yeah, they had the energy.
So to talk and to walk, obviously are two totally different things. I don't think at this point we need to explain that to anybody. But Mike, it really seems to me that, as Ray stated, you know, I mean, is until anything changes, you know, we're going to see that swagger from our top paid defense. Shouldn't that be, shouldn't they be playing a little better? I think is an argument. Yeah. And then also what Cam, I mean, this is a guy right in a captain right in the middle of the team saying the same thing, Mike. I think as far as fans go, unless something different happens this year, Mike, and we do anything different, anything better than going 10-7 and going to the playoffs, I think anything better than that is going to help Mike Tomlin, because it's just not what we've been stuck with or failing entirely, not making the playoffs, whatever. I think right now people are starting to collectively get this opinion about Mike Tomlin, and they would rather see him go elsewhere. There's a stale feeling. It feels like he lost the team, you know, quite a few years ago. Yeah. Mike, what's your thoughts on this?
You know me, I'm not opposed to a coaching change. I'm not opposed to a whole roster change too, because, you know, you can either overhaul your roster, get rid of the guys that, you know, have heard the message and don't want to resonate with it, that are your supposed team leaders that go out and lay eggs consistently in big games. You know,
but how's come one team's big players do really well and another team's big players consistently lay an egg? Like, you know, good coach teams like Sirianni or Andy Reid, these guys don't go out and lay eggs 5 weeks in a row or season after season, or you know what I mean? Why is it some coach teams do and some coach teams don't?
Yeah, it's I think we hit it on the head. Like the message has become stale. They've heard it, and they don't resonate with them anymore. And that's when it's time for a change. Like I said, it's either you got to overhaul the roster or overhaul the coaching staff. And this team is willing to do either. We're going to keep the coach, and we're going to keep players around that that cannot and have not performed when the bright lights or when the lights are the brightest. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, they disappear in the playoffs. Mike Tomlin has been disappearing in the playoffs, disappearing down the stretch. So you got to more or less get rid of them all and start over again with a new message, with a new team. But we don't want to do that. So it's just going to be more of the same.
So
we're going to come out. We're going to come out and we're going to have a really good stretch. We're going to have a bad stretch, a medium stretch, and then fail in the playoffs. That's just what we are right now because we refuse to change anything.
Mike, do you agree or do you disagree? Let's say they go 11-6 next year. They go to the playoffs and they lose by 4 points, opposed to the getting murdered.
That's an improvement.
And getting murdered and letting up all these record points in the playoffs. Let's say they go 11-6 and they lose in a playoff game by 4 points. I think that goes a long way for Mike Tomlin because right now it seems like it's snowballing with the people and it's snowballing fast. Every day when people open up their phones and read, more and more and see that other people feel this way. Mike, it really goes 11-6 next year and comes within 4 points, but still loses. I think that, but like,
whoa,
let's kind of go off of what P's saying on the board and Mark Malone as well. Mark Malone
saying, breaking up a little bit there, Ryan.
I think we could go 6-11 and Rooney would still keep him.
You're breaking up, dude.
At that point, Mike, it really gets ugly. If he goes 6-11 and the fans, whether they do anything, the organization, I don't know. But I think that at that point, it could be me. I don't know who it is, but we're going to continue on. I think I might have.
Yeah, you were breaking up you were breaking up there for a little bit. But no, yeah.
Why? I don't know why. I don't know why.
I think. Yeah. So I
just don't get it. But all right, let's get back into it. He says they'll need to go 6-11 and get a decent draft pick. But I think we're back now. There we go.
There we go. You're back.
All right, so let's get back to the board here.
Sorry about that, guys.
Here we go. Let's see. I guess the GM is blameless. I guess the GM is blameless. The thing about the GM, I don't know if we're far enough along to really get on him yet, because I got to be honest with the GM. I've been impressed with the work that he's done. Now, say what we want, but the last 2 years have been consistent. I mean, he, again, 10-7, 10-7. You obviously went higher. Playoffs and lose the first round. But at the end of the day, Mike, I'm not ready to jump on Omar Khan just yet.
No. Neither am I. The one I have always harped on is Kevin Colbert. Omar Khan's only been GM for 2 years. So it's hard to blame for him. I've liked what he's done. He's had some misses, but Kevin Colbert, people in the Pittsburgh media have praised him. Oh, he's a great GM. Look at all this good thing he's did. And then then out of the other side of their mouth going, "Oh, Mike Tomlin's in charge of the roster, and this roster is terrible."
Mike, I don't know the people even still talk about Kevin Colbert. You say this all the time, but I don't recall people talking about him often.
Oh my! Like Pittsburgh media, they love.
No, don't listen to them.
But fans do too. But like the thing is, like he was the GM. He made all these great moves. But on the other side of their mouth, oh, Mike Tomlin's in charge of the roster, and it's terrible. Well, like I said, which one is it? Was it the GM who was so great and built these good teams?
You want me to tell you the answer, Mike?
It's whatever you want it to be. It's
no,
Schrodinger's
the answer is
GM.
this. The answer is this. Stop listening to the Pittsburgh media.
That's what a lot of fans do, and that's where they form their narrative.
And
but the Pittsburgh media is also the one. But they're also the ones who say Mike Tomlin's in charge of the entire operation. But Kevin Colbert had a great draft.
Listen,
which one is it?
Let's stop listening to the Pittsburgh media. You'll be okay. Let's get to the next message.
We are the Pittsburgh media. They should be listening to.
He says Steelers organization is a stable organization. You get a head coaching job there, and your seat stays cold no matter how bad the season ends. Mark Malone says, okay, so those are the 6 and 11 comments. I'm going to jump back over them. Mark Malone says Tomlin has been leashing hell in December for a number of years. That's right.
He's been trying.
Like the numbers are really, really bad in December. There's no two ways about that. P, and it's gotten worse. It didn't used to be that way.
Yeah.
P says stop paying a linebacker $25 million a season.
That could help.
Absolutely. Over enthusiastic mod Caleb, you're breaking up worse than me and my ex.
It was a bad breakup right there for a minute or two, guys. Sorry about that.
And he also did say Mike stole my internet. I
I
don't know how you do, but I'm pretty sure you do. And then P says the dude that rode Ben until the wheels totally fell off is kind of blamed too. I think everyone's to blame, but I'm not ready to jump on just yet the Omar Khan blame train. I like him. I think the moves that he's making and his aggressiveness in the offseason, I've been in favor of the past 2 seasons. But everybody else, I think they're all in the hot seat for me. Everybody else. Let's see. Joe says the defense has been oh my god, the predictability of both the defense and the offense is unbelievable on this team. And the fact that these people from top to bottom don't realize this as teams continue to dominate us, it's just unbelievable what's going on. The defense has been predictable. They don't disguise it or blitz either. In 2018, they blitzed 44% of the time. They've gone down every year. Now it's down to 29%, which has always been a bread and butter, which was the bread and butter of many, many good teams that win big games, guys. So that is that. Again, also, P says, as soon as Big Ben stopped going to strip clubs and talking about Jesus, it was a wrap.
Yep. But real quick, back to Yinzer Joe. Yeah, like I understand what they wanted to do. They just couldn't do it. Like we're gonna send 4. We're gonna send our 3 D linemen and TJ Watt, and we're gonna get pressure with those guys. Everyone else back into coverage. What we saw Philly do. But again, Philly has much better players all on their defense than the Steelers do, and they were just unwilling to change their philosophy. They were able to make minor adjustments throughout the games during most of the season until that last 5 weeks. They couldn't make an adjustment and they couldn't get any pressure no matter what they did. It was, the scheme, it was the players, it was the coaching. It was just terrible, terrible, terrible. But I understand why they blitzed less because it's like, hey, if we can get with 4, have more guys in coverage, hell yeah. But it just did not work the way they wanted to.
The Philadelphia Eagles destroy their city once again. I knew it was coming. I knew it happened, but to see the visuals, good Lord, go and look at some of the pictures. Why is this acceptable in any city, in any place, anywhere? I mean, the millions of dollars that's being destroyed and damaged and stolen, and people breaking into these box trucks and getting merchandise. I mean, that's a big problem for a lot of people that have to actually deal with the responsibility of all this merchandise of theirs that got stolen. Now I have to go figure out what got stolen. Yeah. I got to report it. I got to tell the people that where the stuff was going, that there's stuff. How is this even acceptable anymore? I mean, they were destroying glass breaking, windows fronts. I mean, that has nothing to do with the team. That's small business people trying to make a life happen and pay their bills. But again, I didn't used to have a problem with this. I'm like, whatever, let people burn their city down. But now it's getting old again. How people are going to be people, but how are the authorities allowing this to continue?
Right.
After you've
right?
seen what happened in Philadelphia last time,
Yeah,
I would have had guys out there with I don't know. I just again I don't know how
yeah,
this
it's
is
nuts.
allowed to happen.
Yeah, and it's not like for the longest time I thought it was like an American phenomenon, but then I remembered when I was talking to overly enthusiastic intern slash mod Caleb, we were reminiscing about the Vancouver Canucks when they won. They were also looting and rioting in their streets, and you had like that couple humping in the middle of the street while people were flipping over cop cars and stuff. I don't know what it is with sports fans when they win; they just want to tear down their
Like,
city.
how old would you have been when the last time a Canadian team won a Stanley Cup?
Vancouver, it wasn't that too long ago.
Did they win it?
Yeah, I thought they did. They won some sort of championship.
Oh, okay. Look at it. Are you looking it up?
Yeah.
All right.
What year was it? 94?
That's what I'm saying. 94. You're saying it would have been closer.
Maybe it was 94. I don't know. I just remember there was looting up in Canada and the people were screwing in the middle of the street.
I was going to say it seemed like more than 30 years to me. So again, I don't even know if they would know how to respond if they would win a championship up in Canada.
I like what P's saying. I believe these riots are sponsored by Big Insurance.
Yeah, watch out. Right?
State Farm, Allstate, the mayhem guy.
I don't even know if they would know how to celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have nothing to go off in Canada because they haven't won nothing in their own sport. 93, there it is. That's what I thought it was. Over enthusiastic mod Caleb. 93.
Oh, it's the 93 Canadians. Whatever. Canadians.
And then the Rangers
Montreal,
won it in 94.
Vancouver,
Mike has no clue what he's talking about, but we'll continue on here. The 93 Canadians, Mike. The 93 Canadians. Whatever. I don't know where you got the Canucks. I don't know where, but
it is what it is.
So 32 years since they got to celebrate in Canada. Who knows? Maybe they'll burn the whole country down if they win.
Well, when you get to my age, memories blend together.
Yeah, I believe the riots are sponsored. Yeah. The big injury. What was the guy about a month ago that all the girls loved that killed the insurance guy?
Luigi. That's my guy.
Mike,
allegedly hasn't been convicted yet. Still alleged.
The UFL, Mike, starts on March 28th.
Yes.
Next month, the UFL will be back in action. Finch will start talking a little bit about that on our personal board for the show. Maybe, Mike, what I was thinking, maybe like all of us on the show, or we could all pick a team,
a different team each. Yeah.
And that gives us a reason we could bet against each other. We could put money on it. We could argue. We could go back and forth and have banter. So
I was thinking that as well. Yeah.
So that coming up also, Mike, the new Pittsburgh Passion schedule also came out as well over the past couple of days. Let me get these games out to you here real quick. The Pittsburgh Passion, of course, our women's football team. Their schedule plays out like this, where they went to the championship last season and lost to Boston. This is what their schedule looks like this year. On April 26th, they open up their season at Tampa Bay, as they did last year. Second week on May 10th, they're at Philly. May 24th, they're at DC. May 31st at home against Tampa Bay, June 7th at home against DC, and then June 14th at home against Cincinnati. I don't see Boston on their schedule, Mike. That might be a good thing, but as it is for the guys, you don't want to get to the playoffs and lay an egg after having a decent season. So that's my only concern. You play a bunch of teams that aren't any good, then you face Boston in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But that's the women, the schedule for the WFA Pro. That is our Pittsburgh Passion. The schedule was released yesterday, Mike. I can't wait to see the gals, and I'm sure we'll get some interviews, get some of the gals in here on the show this year, talk to them. Also, let's see, I think the Flames came the closest for Canada. I know the Flames won it back in 88 or something like that. They beat Montreal actually that year. Senators had some decent squads back in the day. Speaking of the Penguins, Mike, Sidney Crosby, as I mentioned to you earlier, he had they just named from his junior league, the QMJHL, the Rookie of the Year award. From now on in the QMJHL is now the Sidney Crosby Award, Mike.
Yep. That year, oh God, I can't remember the stats, but it was something ridiculous. He had like 300 points. He had like 100 goals, 200 assists in the Quebec Major Junior League. That's the same league Mario Lemieux came out of. So for you to have the Rookie of the Year award named after you and not Mario Lemieux, that shows just how dominant you were at that level. So well done, Sid. Another well-deserved honor for one of the greatest hockey players of all time.
All right, there you go. Congratulations to Sid on that. Pretty good. That's a pretty good honor. Every time somebody
not bad. Yeah.
wins it, your name is going to be mentioned for the rest of time. So that's always good. Congratulations on that. Also, Mike, the Pitt basketball team, they take a loss last night to SMU 83-63. They fall to 14-11 on the road. Their next game is Saturday. They do host the Miami Hurricanes at noon. Also in Pitt football news, Mike, they are looking to bring in on a visitation none other than 2026 graduate, son of former NFL and Pitt star Devin Fitzgerald. Devin Fitzgerald. They're trying to get him to come in again from the class of 26. Mike, we could pull a Devin Fitzgerald, man. We'll be a lot of smiling faces in Oakland.
Heck yeah. Hey, if he's half the athlete his dad is,
exactly. Exactly. You get Marvin Harrison. You start getting these second generation guys, man. I'm kind of curious to see who's going to live up to their dad's, standards. So always very interesting.
It's never a given, man. It's never a given. So when they do, man, it's like extra. It's like something extra to it, like extra special.
For sure. Let's see. P. Morton says Crosby is to LeBron, to Jordan's Gretzky, maybe. Interesting. I mean,
my goat debate in hockey is Mario Lemieux is a better hockey player than Wayne Gretzky. Wayne Gretzky had the opportunity to come on a star-studded team from the WHL when they merged, and Lemieux came onto the worst team in the league and had to build it up. Yeah. So for me, it's Gretzky, Lemieux, 1-2 in any order.
I think ultimately you got to, and I hate to say it, I think ultimately you got to take Gretzky just because his numbers. Some might say that, the time period he played in was an easier time. If that was the case, then everybody's numbers would be inflated. So I don't know about that argument. I think that just because of those numbers alone, you have to go Gretzky. I hate to say it, but Lemieux is certainly a number two. He's right behind him, in my opinion. But LeBron and Jordan, and again, I don't know if this comes down to my age or my generation, but Jordan is better than LeBron. I don't think that'll ever change my mind. Let's see what else, Mike. One other thing here in baseball news. Now, this came out a couple of years ago, but it didn't catch my attention until somebody brought up an article just recently. Did you see back in 2018 the Orioles jerseys that had their name written in Braille?
Yeah, I remember that.
Now, I only seen this just recently. I remember seeing it now that I'm it's coming fresh to me. Mike, Braille names on the front of their jersey.
Yeah.
Who does that benefit?
No one.
No one at all.
But it would be kind of like
even if you're doing it to support people who are blind, they don't know.
They can't see it. Because I would say that's cool, like to show support for, like, you don't even have to be like 100% blind, like visually impaired people use Braille, but they don't read it, they feel it. You have to feel the bumps. Maybe, okay, I'm going to say we're doing it in Morse code. For our Morse code aficionados, we'll have ... but the Braille, you have to touch it. You don't look at, so I don't get that one. Just now that I think more about it, because when I first saw him, I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool, and then left.
Yeah. Let's see, Gretzky mad, LA semi-competitive, sort of like Jordan to the Wizards. They're all great. I mean, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, you'll sit down and there'll always be a debate because somebody will feel somebody's better than the other. So at the end of the day, them are all four great, very, very great athletes. Let's see. Jen says the hot blind chicks that want to feel them up. Yeah.
There you go.
Braille. There you go. I just, again, I thought, wow, this is something.
That new t-shirt idea, Ryan, for you and I. We're going to get Braille t-shirts and we're going to go find the hot blind chicks. They can feel up our shirts.
He'll still be running from us.
Yeah.
So,
what else is new?
Yeah.
See, I had a new demographic that women are running of women that run away from me.
So let's see, Mike. That the UFL again. We got that. The Passion. Derpy should. I do know that he is under the weather. The past couple of days, I can't even get a call back or text back from him. So he must be pretty sick. Hopefully he's back tomorrow. Usually comes in for the Thursday shows. We could certainly get him all set up for his winnings as he dominated once again, Mike.
He did
complete
dominate.
and utter domination in the picks this year. So hopefully we'll be back. He'll be back tomorrow. Vince will be in on Friday with us. So, Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone, especially if you're new. Remember, all of our social media links are there, even more than I have. Listen here on the YouTube channel. We got the merch store, the blog coming back next week. So it's all happening at the2dumyinzers.com.
That is funny.
That Jen's post?
Yeah. I can see players like Watson putting Braille on his pants, on his uniform pants.
Him and Tugger. I think the idea for the first blog this week will be a mock draft.
Okay.
It's getting into that season. It's like a mock draft type thing.
But do go check out the website, everybody.
Yes.
As Mike said, www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. Mike, let's get in some trivia. What do you think?
Hell yeah, baby. You know me. I love some trivia.
Petey says hot blind chicks don't care if you're ugly and don't know how hot they are. And they're probably mad handsy. That's right. Pete's thinking. I mean, come on, that's strategy.
Pete's for what the 2-3 years that he's been with us, he's a man of the world.
And if you're self-conscious, if you're you're worried about your girlfriend, with a wondering eye, you don't have to worry about that. There's not going to be, right? I'm sure she's not finding guys on super media, or social media. I don't know.
This is
all right, guys. So
dating strategies with the 2 Dum Yinzers.
Today, the question is going to be a draft question. This is a draft, of course.
Ooh.
Everybody's anticipating the big draft, Mike, which is just 1 year away from the draft in Pittsburgh. After this one is over, after the final pick is had, Mike, we will be on the clock next year, 2026, the NFL draft right here in Pittsburgh. I think it's going to be a disaster, but
me too.
You know what?
Me too.
Trying to fit 1 million people into that triangle, it's going to be a bit of it's going to be interesting to say the least.
Shit show. It's going to be a shit show.
Yeah, man. Wandering palms. So this is the draft trivia question of the day.
Wandering palms.
And it has to do with the Steelers. So I hope that helps. Mike, put on your thinking cap. Everybody on the board, everybody at home. Here we go. Here's the question of the day. In the last 10 drafts, did the Steelers draft more offensive or defensive players in the first round with their number one pick? In the last 10 drafts, did the Steelers draft more offensive or defensive players in the first round with their number one pick? Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live right here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every day right here on YouTube. All right, Michael, the question of the day. In the last 10 drafts, did the Steelers draft more offensive or defensive players in the first round with their number one overall draft pick? I'll give a minute on the board, see if anybody wants to throw an answer up or two. Mike will figure things out on his end. But while I'm waiting, I also want to say, go check out on Friday nights, 9:30 every week, the Two Cranky Jagoffs. Finch and Tim every Friday at 9:30 for about an hour and a half. They have a good show. They have a lot of good topics, sports, non-sports, all kind of things. Do check out Fridays, 9:30 p.m. every Friday, the Two Cranky Jagoffs right here on the 2 Dum Yinzers YouTube channel network. Mike, I'm going to come to you. Question of the day is this. In the last 10 drafts, the last 10 NFL drafts, did the Steelers draft more offensive or defensive players in the first round with their number one overall pick? Mike, what'd they draft more of?
I'm going to go offense.
Offense? And is that your final answer?
No, wait. Check. Let's
Defense?
go defense.
Number one
Yeah,
answer?
yep.
Okay.
Yeah, defense, number one answer. I don't know why I said offense. Yeah, I want to go defense.
All right. P says offensive and immediately injured or garbage. I'm not sure what was that referring to. I'm sorry. I'm doing like two things here. I'm not sure what that comment was referring to. Sure it was funny, but I'm just I missed. I'm not that smart. I got to be honest with you.
No, he's talking about the. I think P's saying that we drafted more offensive players than they
okay,
were either hurt or garbage.
Gotcha. See, when it's explained to me in my tongue.
Yeah, I know. I gotta dumb it down for you.
Which is semi-smart. That would make sense.
Right?
All right, guys. The question of the day is this: in the last 10 drafts, did the Steelers draft more offensive or defensive players in the first round? Mike says defensive. And that's your final answer.
Final answer.
Not seeing any guesses going up on the board, so I will read the question one more time, and then we'll reveal the answer, everybody. Again, if you get a chance, you want to take a guess, it's either offense or defense. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not the same amount. 10 years, it's not split down the middle 5 and 5. It's either offense or defense. There's no trick to the question. In the last 10 drafts in the NFL, the Steelers, did they draft more offensive or defensive players in the first round, their number one overall pick? Mike says defensive. That's his answer. Guys, the answer to this by way of 6-4. 6-4. They drafted more players on this side of the ball, Mike, the defensive side of the ball. 6 defensive players, 4 offensive players. I think like the last 4 has been the more recent picks have all been offense. The older picks, I think like 1 through 6 is actually defense, and then like the last 4 was offense. But there you go, guys. The last 10 years, their number one pick was spent on defense more than offense by way of 6-4. Like 6-4.
I have the players.
Give us the list. Start with furthest out.
Oh God. Let me go backwards because that's how I have it. That's how it popped up for me.
Meaning you're going to do what?
Fatanu.
Okay.
Fatanu this year, then Broderick Jones, Kenny Pickett, Najee Harris. We didn't have a first-round pick in 2020, but we did take Chase Claypool. I don't know if that counted. Then we have Devin Bush, Terrell Edmonds, TJ Watt, Artie Burns, Bud Dupree, Ryan Shazier.
Yeah. That's how I had written it.
And then before that, we have Jarvis Jones.
Which would have been another defensive player.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there you go, Mike. It's been quite a few years. Mm-hmm. It's been at least 5 seasons since we've taken a defensive player in the first round, which seems weird because, I mean, that's just what the Steelers do. But the offense, after 4 seasons of taking an offensive player, doesn't seem to be doing much improving. So,
no. Like,
Najee, Kenny, Claypool, and Fatanu. Well,
Jones and Fatanu, yeah.
Jones.
Broderick Jones.
Oh, why? How did I forget about Broderick Jones?
Yeah, that was Omar Khan's first pick.
So last year, Fatanu got hurt. Broderick Jones is a disaster. Yep. I like Najee. Kenny was a disaster. And who was right before? Chase Claypool was a disaster.
But, he was second-round pick. That was the year we got Minka. We traded for Minka,
yeah. The only year that I really felt that was a successful offensive pick was Najee. But again, a lot of people would say that wouldn't be their ideal first-round pick. So again, I mean, how well has our drafts been? We've got good players. Don't get me wrong. You get your Pat Freiermuth along the way. You get your George Pickens along the way. You get your guys. But again, that first-round pick, those number one guys, if you hit, you're gravy.
Yeah, and Terrell Edmonds is a first-round pick. He falls in that Najee category. If that's your second or third round pick, that's a great fucking pick because they're steady eddies. They're productive. You know what you're going to get out of them. But when you get that first-round pick, you're expecting a TJ Watt, a Ryan Shazier type player, not you want that bigger production. That's what's hurt Najee and kind of hurt Terrell Edmonds in a lot of people's eyes.
Let's get to the kicker conversation. The guys are having on the board. Over enthusiastic Maud Caleb mentioned the kickers, and then Pete comes on and says, "Why draft a kicker? Buy those guys a ticket and allow them to make a living without a real job." You know what? The one I agree with you. Why you can't don't draft kickers. It's crazy. But remember when Sebastian Janikowski came out of college and went to the Raiders?
Yeah,
I remember saying to myself, "This is one dude if you have one of these guys that just dominate in college and they just do amazing things, head and shoulders better than the other great kickers that that are going to be available. Maybe in a Sebastian Janikowski, maybe one of these guys in their own way. But you know what? For the most part, drafting a kicker, I think, is crazy. Mike, why would you waste a draft pick on a kicker? I mean, I don't know.
Like if he's going to, because they score the most points for you. I'd rather have a kicker than a fourth, a fifth, string inside linebacker that's never going to see the field. Mark Robinson. You can get me a kicker that I know it's going to be there for the next 10 years. It's a good investment. Like that's Sebastian Janikowski. He was a Raider for life. And then that same draft, they drafted Shane Leckler, who was a damn good punter in that era too, who kicked for a long ass time. They special teams is a third of the game, and they locked down that third of the game for years to come. Now, should they take him Janikowski in the first round? No, I'd have taken him in the second.
Peace say Janikowski was the first and last time. I thought so. Yep. I was trying to remember if there was anybody more recent because I knew Janikowski was the first. But yeah, I mean,
in the first round,
if there's a freak of nature, Mike. Somebody like him, he might get taken. But for the most part, most of these guys are guys that they have normal jobs. These guys aren't in the NFL. These guys are maybe played soccer and got a good leg, and they get picked. They're undrafted. They're picked up. So again, to take take a draft pick on a kicker is crazy unless you have a freak of nature that again you believe is going to be your guy for the next 15 years, and then maybe. And a team like the Raiders, do you really expect much more from them anyway?
No. But like I know in the past couple of years, teams have been drafting kickers in the like third, fourth, fifth round. That's a whole hell of a lot better than a first round pick, unless he's going to be kicking you 50, 60, 70 yarders, and converting 98% of his field goals. I'm not risking it.
Yinzer Joe said best pick I think was Alex Highsmith. Rest were busts. P says, do NFL teams have backup kickers? I think they're punter,
practice
right?
Squad. No.
I mean, if you're out there this week and your kicker gets hurt,
your punter's going to kick.
Your punter kicks.
Yeah, unless some teams do have an extra guy on their practice squad, or they have like their preferred free agents that are floating out there. Like, hey, if our guy goes down, you're getting a call.
That's common. But the fact that, Mike, if there's an injury or something, you have to go find a guy. I mean, it's happened to us, or the guy just underperformed.
Yeah.
But if it happens in the game,
I think
you have to go to the punter.
Well, like, who was it? The Chiefs the one year they went to one of their safeties, Justin Reed.
Well, I mean that's kind of
but most of the time it's going to be your punter.
P says Davis out. The Raiders had those RFK Junior brainworms. Boy, look at the haircuts on them Davis boys, huh?
Oh.
After all these years, you think at some point somebody would be like, bro, that is the worst haircut I've ever seen in my life, but they don't seem to mind. Mike, anything if we do start getting ready to wrap things up for today, brother?
I got nothing, man. This was a fun show, man.
It was fun.
It was a nice, fun Wednesday show, man.
Nice midweek hump day. Just kind of threw around some
random topics, man. It flew, man. It flew. I do have something in the works regarding the draft. Like something I've been working on in the background is like I'll be putting out once we get closer to the draft, going back and reviewing past draft classes, just putting out little 5-minute videos about these draft classes and how that they're still affecting the team today. So that's in the works right there. Once we get closer to the draft season, since we talked about the draft now, might as well just tease that little thing coming down the pipe.
All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give special thanks to some of the if I could get this thing to ever work for me instead of against me. Okay. To give a special thanks to everybody on the board today. I'm going to do it by name, by individual. I want to thank Jen. I want to thank DL Dub, Yinzer Joe, Mark Malone, Over Enthusiastic Maud Caleb, Kellerhorst, P. And I don't think I'm going to miss anybody here.
I think that was it, man.
All those people that I just mentioned, I do want to say to you personally, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Yes. I also do want to say thank you to everybody for checking us out and hanging out with us today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Again, thank you to everybody on the board. Yes. You guys are always great. Always great. Always keep things interesting here on the show. So I did want, as I said, I want to take a special, give a special out to you guys. Thank you so much. Everybody at home as well. Thank you. So much. Mike, anything else before we do wrap it up for today, my man?
No, but yeah, P, I do agree. Drafting a kicker in the first round is a symptom of late stage syphilis. That's going on a T-shirt somewhere.
Hey, there's always a team, right?
Right.
There's always a team with syphilis.
And it's always the Raiders.
It's always the Raiders. The Raiders always have syphilis, no matter where they're at. They're in Oakland, they're in LA, they're in Las Vegas. But there you have it. Thank you so much, everybody. Yes. Mike, again, speak now, forever hold your peace, bro.
That's all I got.
Thank you so much for Mike and the Steeler Mobile. Steeler Central Mobile Studio, myself. Again, Derpy, hopefully will be by tomorrow. Yes. He's under the weather. Finch for sure on Friday.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We hope to see you tomorrow first thing, as we will be back for our Thursday installment of the show. We hope to see everybody then. Again, for Mike, Ryan, the two